Okay, after understanding about the money, now the next topic that we have to understand is banking. Banking we all understand in the common term, it is simply depositing the money into a bank or taking a loan from a bank or using other services provided by a bank. But technically if we have to define banking, banking is a process of accepting deposits from the public which are withdrawable on demand. That is, there the demand deposit. Yes, in the previous video we discussed about the demand deposit and term deposits. Withdrawable on demand by check, order or otherwise for the purpose of lending or investing. Okay, these are the important you can say definition important words for defining banking or for understanding banking. Banking is simply a process in which an organization or an institution accepts the deposit from the public. This deposit is withdrawable on demand, means whenever the public wants, it can withdraw its deposits with the particular organization. By check, check you all know, which can be used for making payments. Order means that suppose you are withdrawing the money from through a withdrawal form, that is by order. Or otherwise may include the modern services like internet banking or drawing through an ATM. And the purpose of accepting this deposit was to give it as a loan or to invest it somewhere, so that the earning can be earned on that, or you can say returns can be earned on that particular deposit. So these are three important things that you have to include in the definition of banking: accepting deposit from the public, withdrawable on demand by check, order or otherwise, and for the purpose of lending or investing, means that the money is not kept idle with the organization or with the bank. Any institution that does this, that performs these functions is known as a bank. Okay, so this particular definition of the bank is applicable to all the banks, all the commercial banks. Now, after understanding the basic meaning of banking, we have to understand the types of banks. See, there are two types of banks that we have to study: the central bank and commercial banks. Okay, central bank is apex bank or the head of the banks, or you can say it is the head of the financial system of an economy, while all the commercial banks are the banks which are dealing with the public and performing the function mentioned under the definition of banking, like say PNB, SBI, Allahabad Bank, Bank of Baroda. All these are commercial banks, while the Central Bank of India is the Reserve Bank of India, and it is the apex bank. Apex means topmost, at the top level, and is head of all banks. Means all the other banks, all the commercial banks will work under the supervision of the Reserve Bank. So if you have to define the central bank, you can define it as a apex institution or the topmost institution of an economy, which is the head of the financial system, or it is the head of all the banks. We'll first discuss about the central bank. First, try to understand the meaning of central bank and its functions. So, as you know that RBI is the central bank and it is governing or taking most, or you can say all the financial decisions of the economy. Like demonetization was also undertaken by the Central Bank of India. That decision was also announced by the central bank, and all the working of the financial system depend on the central bank. You must also be knowing that the central bank is not only the head of the banks but also of the share market and all other financial markets in the economy. So now we will move on to the functions of the central bank. See, when we are studying these functions of the central bank or even the function of money, if you are asked in a question, it is better to mention them in points, right? Means each and every function itself can be divided into 2 or 3 points. The first and foremost function of the central bank is, it is the bank of issue. Issue here means issue of the currency. It is the bank which can print the currency of an economy. It has the exclusive rights. Exclusive means no other bank or no other institution in the economy has this particular right. Like you must be seeing for a telecast of a match exclusively on Star Sports. So it means that it will be telecasted only on Star Sports. So exclusive means exclusive right or unique right of the central bank to print the currency of the economy. None other organization has this particular right. When you have to explain this, then you have to explain it, mention all these things, and it prints the currency on behalf of the government. On behalf of the central government, or you can say both central bank and the central government will together decide how much currency is to be printed in an economy. Then just understand one technical thing also can be understood here, that is this function of the central bank converts the monetary liabilities of the government into non-monetary liabilities. Actually, when I am saying the conversion of monetary liabilities to non-monetary liabilities, first you have to understand that currency is also the liability for the government, because government is backing it, government is giving its promise, or you can say the central bank is giving its promise on the currency note. And if you return any currency note, then RBI has to take it back. Like even if in the demonetization, or even if you have a worn out note, currency note, then also the RBI will take it back, right? So it is a non-monetary liability of the government. Like on the each and every currency note, you will find written, I, the governor of RBI, promise to pay a sum of rupees, whatever currency note it is. So it means that the promise becomes the liability for the government. But it is what type of liability? A non-monetary liability. Non-monetary because no one will come and ask for the government to exchange it in, for some commodity. They can use it in the economy. While monetary liabilities are those, or you can say non-monetary liability is the currency issued by the bank and it is not to be paid. While monetary liabilities are any, suppose the government has to pay say rupees 5 lakh to a firm, say to firm A. Suppose this company has undertaken the contract of building a road on behalf of the government or from the government, and government has to make the payment. If there is shortage of the money with the government, what government can do? So first understand, it is a monetary liability. It has to be paid. If there is shortage of money with the government with the permission or with the consideration of the Reserve Bank can issue or print new currency and pay this liability, right? So now when this liability is paid, again that 5 lakh rupees issued by the bank is a liability. But what type of liability? It is a non-monetary liability because it is not to be paid back. So this is how this function helps the government to convert its monetary liabilities into non-monetary liabilities. When you are explaining this point, you can mention this much only. You can simply write that it helps the government to convert its monetary liabilities into non-monetary liabilities by printing currency whenever there is shortage of money with the government. Then second point is, it is banker to the government. Banker to the government means that the RBI, as we maintain our accounts with the commercial banks, similarly the governments maintain their accounts with the Reserve Bank. The central government has its account with the Reserve Bank, or the government's treasury, which you must have heard that government has a treasury which is the reserve of the money with the government, that is also held by the Reserve Bank. Government can take loans from the Reserve Bank So you can say that the Reserve Bank acts as a banker to the government. So as a banker to the government, first of all, the government can deposit its money with the RBI. Secondly, the government can take loans or borrow from the central bank. Third, the government can take advice from the central bank. Right? So these are the three things that you need to mention when you are explaining the function of banker to the government. First thing, that government can deposit its surplus money with the Reserve Bank, and Reserve Bank also holds the government treasury. Secondly, government can take the loans in case there is shortage of money with the government, and government can also seek advice from the central bank regarding the economic matters or economic policies of the economy. Then the third function of the central bank is banker's bank. Banker's bank means it is the banker to the government. Means all, like the government, all the commercial banks also hold their accounts with the Reserve Bank. When we are talking about the banker's bank function, first of all commercial banks, they hold the account with the RBI or the central bank. Secondly, they can seek advice from the central bank, or you can say that central bank will regulate them. Regulate means all the policies, all the rules for these banks will be made by the central bank. They can borrow from the central bank, and also the central bank acts as a center of settlement, or in some of the books you would find it written as it is the clearing house function.